Hello, everybody out there in Facebook land, TikTok world, and YouTube, Instagram, wherever else I'm going to post this live. Well, some of it won't be live, some will be recorded, but you get the gist of it all. Welcome to the broadcast. I am Monty Anderson, your host at 412 Productions, The Art of Monty Anderson. How are y'all doing today? If you're reading my title, it's just one thing after another. Good old Murphy's Law. Oh, Lordy. Walked in last night to my computer, one of my main computers, mind you, and it showed me that it basically had restarted itself, which is no big deal because that happens on updates and things of that nature. And welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Monty Anderson, your host of 412 Productions. I'm telling you about Murphy's Law while my ears disappear and my head does a splashy thing up here because of the green screen. It doesn't know what to do. With all this AI technology, green screen doesn't work that great, does it? But anyway, walked in, my computer was at a restart point, like it had done an update. So I was okay, cool, good, all that good stuff. So I go ahead and restart the computer again. And then I come back in this morning, and there's all these freaking lines going all over my computer. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, what the hell? So I restart the computer, pops up this little system diagnostic trying to repair your computer. It's like, are you freaking kidding me right now? You have got to be kidding me right now. Mind you, this computer has all of my artwork stuff on it, my logos, my pretty much everything. I mean, I do have some of it over here on this computer that I'm recording on right now. Not here on TikTok, but up here on my main computer. Or now it's my main computer at this point in time. So I'm gonna have to strip that one down, take the hard drive out, put it into one of my hard drive readers, open it up over here, and back up my information before I reset that computer over there to see if that will fix the problem. Oh, good old Murphy's Law. When it rains, it pours sometimes, right? Because if you were here for the last live show, we tried to preview two comic books by Antarctic Press. And I was trying to get, to the point where I could show you some of the artwork. This is the cover to Dreadlock the Barbarian. And I was hoping to show some of this stuff, while I was live that day, but absolutely nothing was working. And it's just like, well, I know computers can get viruses, but they're not even hooked up to each other. They're not talking to each other. Like, how are you getting a virus from that computer to this computer? And I don't think it's a virus. I think it's just my computer's old. Okay. Um, I can't tell you what year I bought that in. As a matter of fact, I think it was after 2010, but I can't tell you what year it actually was that I actually purchased that computer. This one was bought not too long ago, probably about oh, what, 3 years ago. My HP that I'm working on right now, the all-in-one, which doesn't make it any better. But good lord, folks, Murphy's Law is in full swing at my house right now. But we did do some cool stuff on the homestead yesterday. I don't know if you guys think it's cool or not, but since I am an illustrator, I am an artist, I am a voice actor and an actor as well. Um, so I with this homestead, we do chickens and goats and pigs and dogs and cats and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! All right. So um, so we had the chickens out there, and we let most of them free range until we've got some young ones right now that don't free range just yet because we got to clip their wings, and it does not hurt them. And then we It's just like getting a haircut for them. So, but again, welcome everybody that's joining live now. Like, share, and follow, and go up here to the profile page, and be sure to follow my other channels, which is my Instagram or my Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and then like here, you are already on TikTok joining me live now. We talk comic books, we talk artwork, we talk homestead, we talk movies, we talk a little bit about everything except for two subjects here. We do not talk politics and we do not talk religion. Just because whenever somebody starts talking about those two items, people start losing their damn minds over it all. But we will talk 988, and we'll leave it at that. If you need to talk to somebody, please reach out. I don't want to get that little restriction page up there again, like I always seem to get when I start talking about a awareness for a subject. If you don't know what 988 is, please go look it up, so I don't get a restriction here again for talking about something that helps people. All right. So, um, so back to the coop story with the chickens. Um, we went out there and we took the tiller. I have a rear tine tiller that was gifted to me by my parents because they couldn't get it to run, and so all we had to do was change some gas lines and things like that. And well, she thought it ran at the time, but it had dilapidated because it hadn't been used in so long. We changed some gas lines out. We cleaned some things up. We put some carb cleaner in it, all that good stuff, and we got it to start up. So, which is awesome. And welcome everybody that's showing up. Please stay for a little while, please, Eddie, please. No, I'm just kidding. If you have to go, you have to go. If you hit this page by mistake, I'm sorry. So we took the tiller in there because we have some high points towards the back of the coop itself. And so what we did was go in there and take the tiller and till up the entire ground inside on both sides, because we've got it separated so that our younger birds can get introduced to the older birds without them, laying into each other and pecking on each other and bullying each other. So yesterday was the first time they all interacted together. There was a little bit of the barnyard bullying that you do see, and but it didn't last very long. Uh, Gertie, or one of our white chickens, was going after some of the young hens, and so, but it only lasted for a short bit, and so now the the middle door to that divides both coops in there is now open, and so we went in there and tilled it all up, smoothed it all out, took the rake and got all the garbage out of the ground, because for some reason, whoever the previous two owners used every inch of the ground, the property, to burn, to bury, to do whatever they wanted to. There's glass, metal, all kinds of shit in the yard, uh, from burn pits that they put everywhere. And it's just like, why do you do that? Why do you want to do that to your property? I just don't understand. I've got one main burn pit. I have two technically. The big one that's in the back where the animals are, and then the main one where we can sit around and enjoy the fire and all that stuff. So it's basically a bonfire in the back, party in the front, that type of thing. And I'm getting ready to dismantle the one in the back just because it's serving no purpose now other than a big ash mound with a little bit of junk in it from previous burns, not by me. And so there is some metal and stuff like that in it that's going to have to come out. But so once that gets cleared out, it's going to leave me a straight path back to where the gate is going to be, to going into the back section where we're rebuilding a bunch of stuff, especially a new fence and a new chicken coop. So, but we smoothed it all out, got it all cleaned, because we'd been putting hay in there and stuff like that, so that it would get so waterlogged that it was horrible. But then we got in there, and after all this rain and snow and stuff that we've had, we get in there and we start stepping on it, and it's just like a freaking sponge. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. And thanks for the hearts, which is the likes, I guess. And so we get in there and we step on that, and just water just gushes out of the ground because all of this um, moisture is being held in by the hay that's been covered over by the dirt and all that stuff from the animals digging and scratching from the chickens. And so we got in there and cleaned all that out. Made a nice little mulch pile for some good soil later once it all starts to decompose down. And it's going to be some great soil later for the garden, which is going to be in the back section. And we're going to open up, the front sections and all that stuff. But it's just a lot of work. And then to find out you lose a computer, in the process. And I need some sponsors. I need sponsors, people. Sponsors. Sponsors, sponsors, sponsors. Um, now, I usually have my V8 drink here, which they can sponsor me. I usually have my Brisk fruit punch or lemonade here. They can sponsor me. But if you'd like to sponsor, there's a little button up here that has the little chili. You can send me stuff up there. That's only for you guys on TikTok. You up here on Facebook and YouTube, you guys can support me other ways. I do have my Cash App and PayPal listed, I believe, up there. I might not. I'm not 100% sure. I know I need to add it to my website. That's for sure. That way, anybody wants to tip or whatever, they can do it right there. But I just finished up this David piece from the Lost Boys. It looks killer under black light, and it glows in the dark, so it's pretty cool. I'll see if it will allow me to show you guys here. This is the lower portion right here, so it shows them down here with the whole right here. This is them hanging from the bridge where the train tracks are, and then this is, of course, the boardwalk on top of there, right there. Of course, David's crying from the loss of Marcos, Marcos. And then we have the top portion, which is the rest of his hair, right there, and then some more bats up here on top. They glow in the dark, glow under black light. It looks really cool. It looks really cool together. There is one little touch-up piece I got to do right there, in the transition spot where the two sit together. So I got those two. So I got that piece done. Now I've got two more pieces on the back burner plus one that is. So I got three on the back burner, and then I've got two that I'm getting ready to do for an awareness show for a friend of mine, Chelsea Johnson, who is here on TikTok as well. She does an awareness group for PTSD and things like that. So she has this awareness program here that's kicking off in Arkansas, and I am part of it, and I will be contributing some artwork to it. Even though I won't be able to be there, it is happening on the 19th of next month of April. Is that right? This is March, yes. Okay. A lot of things are happening, grooving and stuff and stuff and stuff. Yeah. So if you can't hear me, is my mic on? Is my mic on? Is this thing on? I'm gonna go over here real fast and see if anybody has asked any questions. I don't think anybody has. I haven't seen anything. A lot of joiners, a lot of likers. That's awesome. I appreciate each and every one of you. I do. And I don't want to miss anything. But please like, share, and follow. Excuse me. No, excuse me. As we continue this journey. So, like I said, I am Monty Anderson with 412 Productions, and we talk comic books, we talk movies, we talk a little bit about everything here. From artwork, like I just showed you. This is just one example there of the artworks that I do. I do all kinds of artwork. I've got a cover gig that I'm working on for a comic book company, and so that's pretty awesome. I have another portrait that I'm getting ready to do for a friend of mine who just commissioned it, and then again, those two awareness pieces, and then I've got a piece in there that is for a gaming channel for another friend of mine who has used me before for artwork several different times actually, and he is now doing a gaming channel, and so he is wanting a new logo for that gaming channel. So we will be working that up and going from there. So, but yeah, no, lots of things happening around here, and it's just one thing after another right now. Like I said, down computer, so I've got to rip it apart, take the hard drive out, use one of my card readers, external hard drive readers, and hook it up over here on this computer just to pull the information off so that I can save it. Um, so that then I can reset this computer over here and lose all my information. I mean, that's what it basically boils down to. Once you reset a computer, you lose most all information on the computer, which sucks big time because that's where I do most of my day-to-day stuff like pay bills and everything else. So everything's stored on that computer. And it just blows that I do not have that access to it right now to pay bills and things like that. I mean, I can do some of it off my phone, but the majority of it is still on computer. And when technology goes down, all you do is cry. Because that's all you can do, folks. That's all you can do. You can cry about it. What was me? What was me? No, I just tear it apart, start over, and put it back together, and then hope it works. But again, I've got to get my information off of there, stored to a computer uh, hard drive, so that I do not lose all of my precious information that is over there on that computer, um, which would be a pain right off the bat. Excuse me. It's been a long, grueling, hard work outside, and it's not done yet. Because on the 24th, I get a roll-off dumpster brought to the property, and I'm going to clean out that back section of all the trash that's back there. So I need a skid steer or a front end loader. So I'm hoping to find one of those. I'm got my neighbor. Hopefully, he can have an end to one. If not, I'm sure I can find one from someone out there, or I can just try and rent one. They are a little pricey to rent one, but I could probably have the whole project back there done in about you know 2 hours to 3 hours tops, and have the machine brought back that same day. So, but yeah, that's how it's looking. I've got to try and figure that one out, and but I got a few weeks to do that because this is the 11th. I don't get it till the 24th, so I've got a little bit to figure that out. I'll be putting out the feelers on the Facebook and all that good stuff to see if I've got any friends that are willing to help or have a knowledgeable insight to a skid steer or a front end loader that I can borrow for about 3 hours tops, I would imagine. I mean, there's quite a bit of stuff back there, but when you get a 14-yard dumpster, it opens up your possibilities. The stuff back there is not going to go over the tonnage limit of 2,000 pounds, so it should be okay to load that sucker down. And even the stuff that I've got in the garage that need to go bye bye is not going to max out the 2,000 pound limit that I've got. So, with all that being said, how are you guys doing out there? How are you guys? Are you guys having fun? Is life treating you well? Yes, I'm talking to you. No. If you want to talk, you'll talk. If you don't, you don't. It's all good. I do appreciate each and every one of you being here, though. It is a fun time. We try to have as much fun as possible. Um, it doesn't always translate into fun sometimes, just because you're talking Murphy's Law, you're talking computers that aren't working right, you're talking about print problems, you're talking about one thing after another. Excuse me, and you just want things to work the way they're supposed to work. And whenever you get in here and nothing's working the way they're supposed to work, then you just want to throw it all out the window. I have small windows. I think I think these two windows are the only windows in the house that would constitute as real windows, if you will. The rest of them, I'm pretty sure, came out of a trailer house somewhere, and not real windows. But I know the one in the kitchen definitely is wasn't built for a house. Let's put it that way. Um, so more stuff that I've got to fix later on. But I'm wanting to rip this room apart, put actually a storage unit here, and turn it into a new office space. And uh, my screened-in porch, which is right out my window here. Excuse me, it's still early. Which is still out my window right here, and I can see the cow field, and I can see whoever comes up into my yard and all that stuff. And that would be still the screened-in porch, but it would be metal at that point in time. And then I would just need to fill in, cut the windows out, and then fill in with screen and mesh, and go from there with it. And so lots of changes that I want to do to this place, to this house, and it's just all time and money. I've got the time, I don't have the money, because I'm not a millionaire like some of you guys that are joining the show. So, all you millionaires out there, more power to you, but I'm not one of them. So I am a disabled veteran as well, so that's why I get to homestead and do artwork full time, and go to a bunch of VA appointments on a regular basis, and fun times with those, because I've possibly have another one getting ready to come along. Good grief! Today is just one of those days. I was looking to see what else we would be talking about today. We started watching the Venoms. Was because since the third one's out now, and we didn't go see it at theaters, we're going to check it out here either tonight or in the next couple days, because we just watched Venom 1 and 2 back to back yesterday. After we got done working out in the yard, we decided to come inside and just chill. And we went and grabbed some food, came back, started watching movies, which was Venom, and then Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. And then now we're going to watch Venom 3, The Last Dance. And so we'll see how that goes. We will see how that goes. But if you've seen it out there, let me know how you enjoyed it or didn't enjoy it, because everybody's got their own opinion on movies. And some people hate certain movies, some people love certain movies, some people are indifferent with certain movies, and so it's just like the new Daredevil Born Again, which is out right now on Disney Plus. They're dropping an episode so often, and I hate that shit. I would rather just dump the whole thing. Let's watch it all, get it over with, and then give our reviews. Some people have hated the first episode of Daredevil Born Again, and then there's other people that thought it was slow on the build up, but they liked it. But then there was other people who were like, man, that was a great show, that blah blah blah, did this, did that, and then they're like, once they hit episode 2 of Born Again, Daredevil Born Again, they're like, holy shit, this is great, I love it. It picked up. It's it's flowing better. And then now once you hit episode 3, 4, 5, I think there's only 8 episodes for this new series that just started and kicked off again, since it was started at Netflix, and Disney picked it all up, and now they are able to put it all on Disney Plus, and so you can judge for yourself whether you like it or hate it. I'm going to be watching it, but we're going to be catching up, because we are going to start with the original series on Netflix and then move into Born Again. And then we're going to watch all the other ones too: Luke Cage, Hero for Hire, Iron Fist, Defenders, um, Jessica Jones. All those we're going to watch all over again, plus the Punisher, which is in the mix as well. Um, so that's going to be cool. It should be fun. And uh, the girlfriend doesn't like a whole lot of series, when it comes to certain things. She likes her series herself, like Ozark and what else did we watch? Sons of Anarchy and Breaking Bad. We started watching Better Call Saul, but we stopped. What else? We just watched a series. What series it was? I know it was Ozark, but there was something else. I can't think of what it is right off the top of my head. But those are the type of series that she likes, and I'm into the sci-fi stuff. Just like right now, I have started rewatching Lost in Space, the 1965 version, not the whatever year it was movie that they made. This is the 1965 series set in 1997. And then they jump like 4 years into the future and end up in 2001. It's kind of comical to see what they thought, 1997 was going to look like at that point in time. Um, and they're talking about overpopulation of the Earth and having to go to another planets to start inhabiting other planets to sustain life on Earth. And by sending up, these rockets to other planets, and if they found an inhabitable one, it was supposed to take 98 years, but then things happen, and they're only 3 years into the journey, yada yada yada. And it's just quite comical to look back on these shows that you were awestruck by as a kid. And I'm not saying I was around in '65, but I saw the reruns later on. And it's just that it's quite comical, just to look at it and look back and to see everything that we were awe inspired by, back in the '70s and the '80s, and now all the stuff that they're doing with CGI and good grief, sorry folks, with CGI and with some of them are AI, which is not a good program to have, but it is for certain things, like for breast cancer awareness and finding the lumps before they get so big and all that stuff. That it's practical implications for. Artwork it is not. I've seen some pretty disturbing AI images out there, and even your typical artist as a writer and things like that say that all these writing programs that are AI generated that write the book for you, they go, you can just tell, and it's cringy, and and I get it because us as artists who still pick up a pencil or a paintbrush and a pen to ink in our stuff. Once we see AI generated artwork, it's pretty cringy stuff. Um, Extra fingers, extra legs hooked together, and I had this Spider-Man picture. It wasn't a Spider-Man picture. It was actually a woman, but it was supposed to be Spider-Man, but it was I guess a hybrid cross between Spider Gwen and Peter Parker. I guess I don't know, but it was pretty cringe. I mean, it had 6 legs, one coming out of the crotch area, and then joining another leg that was coming out of the ass, and it was just like, what the hell is this? What am I looking at? What the fuck is this? And it was just like, wow. And people pay money for this stuff. That's why a lot of comic book conventions have put a lockdown on AI artwork at conventions. They will not allow it to be there at the show. And if you are found out by the convention that you do have AI artwork, you'll be kicked out of your spot, which is only fair because I mean the rest of us have slaved over our stuff and we didn't get behind a keyboard and go typey type and hit enter and oh, there's my artwork that I just created in 3 minutes from typing in artwork. Hello, everybody. I'm Monty Anderson with 412 Productions. We talk everything here from artwork to movies to real life experiences to paranormal to cryptids. And if you don't know what some of those things are, like cryptids or, you know, Greek mythology and things of that nature, you can look it up. You can look it up. I do not have the answer for everything, so if you do ask me a question, I may or may not have an answer for it. No, I know a little bit about a lot of things. I am not an expert in anything. So there you go. But they did trust me enough to serve our country and go overseas and then train troops after we got back. So I taught the weapons course from the 50 cal to the Mark 19 to the 9mm sidearm for your officers. So there you go. But it was fun. Everything's fun. Everything's cool. Especially now that I'm doing voice acting, and I am also in the process of being an actor as well. And that journey has been a fun one because it all started with Jason Pitts, a local director who's starting to make full-length feature films now. He's getting award after award for his shows, for his movies that he is making, and he's got another one in the works right now. I couldn't tell you the name of it right off the top of my head, but it will be ready sometime in probably 2026, maybe, unless he starts filming later on. I know they're trying to get the funds for it right now, doing either a fund GoFundMe or a Kickstarter campaign right now. I'm not sure which he's doing for it, but you can find him out there, Jason Pitts, on YouTube, and he is on some of the other streaming channels. But you can look for Jason Pitts alone, and then it should give a repertoire for all the rest of his movies that he does have out there available. Um, but I got started with him by doing props for him, and then he put me in one of his movies for it was Masquerade, as an EMT with a speaking role, and I got to speak up with the main character there to make sure she was okay, and if she needed anything, we'll be right over there. And so that was pretty cool and exciting. And then I got to work on another film as an extra. Well, not really an extra, but as a hand there, and just basically doing whatever they needed done. Stand in for something, come out of the shadows for to see how the filming or how the lighting was and all that good stuff. And so that was cool. That was called Enthralled. I can't remember the director. I'm sorry for that one. But and then I was an extra. I was an extra in his movie for as an EMT again. Uh, so I played two EMTs, and now I've got this voiceover gig for a Power Rangers fan film, short film, and so that will be fun. Be pretty cool. And all these guys are professional in their own rights when it comes to the directing and the actors that they're getting and things of that nature. And then all the equipment for this Power Ranger movie. I am playing Champ, the voice of Champ. I am not the actual character in a suit, but I am Champ, the voice of the character. And so with all that, it's just been one thing after another, which has been pretty cool, and it's just been fun, and that's what life is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about fun. It's not supposed to be so stuffy and boring to have your tie choking you, because you can't get a breath in there, and that's just how life has been here lately. It's just been fun and exciting, and this whole year has kicked off with a bang. Ever since I opened up 412 Productions by killing my old company that I had, and um, starting this venture of 412 Productions to rebuild my art empire, if you will. And it's not an empire; it's just me in reality. And the girlfriend helps out as she can. She is an artist in her own right too. She does some good drawings, but she is more mechanically inclined and loves to tinker on her motorcycles. So that's an art skill in and of itself when you're a gearhead. And, I'll tinker with it. I'll get mad with a car, a motorcycle, whatever, and then I'll start throwing tools. Working on vehicles and working on computers whenever they aren't working right are my two biggest pet peeves. And so those make me angry as the asleep. Um, you know, the rest of the day. I mean, not the rest of the day, but until about 6 o'clock. But yet they're up every hour on the hour here. It seems like here lately, it drives you a little batty, especially the pig who's inside and starts to scream loudly. The dog, not so much. She'll just come and bang on the door because I lock my office door because their food stuff is right inside the doorway, and the pig will definitely destroy that food bag in a heartbeat. And she's not a small pig. I mean, she's right at about 145 to 150 pounds, maybe, if I had to guess. But as the girlfriend says, she is adorable. No, she's not. She's a pain in the ass. That's what she is. Um, she's only good when she's sleeping. So there you go. But welcome everybody, all the new followers and the new people showing up to the show. I'm Monty Anderson with 412 Productions. We do talk artwork, comic books, movies, comic book movies, um, science fiction, cryptids, out of this world stuff, paranormal. We talk a little bit about everything here and show you artwork periodically. Good grief. As it happens, just like I showed off my David piece over here that glows in the dark and looks cool under black light that I just basically finished up. I have one little touch up place to do, and then it will be ready for them to have. To have and to hold from this day forward. Don't say I do, please. But how are y'all doing out there? Hopefully, you guys are having some fun on this bright and early morning day on the 11th of March. We still got a long time in March. Some people are going to be griping about how long March is here pretty soon, just like they did with January. I can't believe how many people were griping about how long January felt to them. Because I mean, I saw some post about um, that it was like a year long. That January was a year long, and we never could get out of January. And now here we are in March, and it's going to feel the same because we're only 11 days in, and there's 31 days in March, and so it's just like, well, you're going to feel the same way here in March that you felt in January. So get buckle up for that, Buttercup, because if you hated January and how long it was, then hey, March is no different. So, but I'm enjoying it. I'm actually liking the daylight savings time change, and I hope they abolish it completely everywhere. And I know Arkansas is already taking that step to abolish it where I am at. And I know there's several other states that already have followed suit with that. I think Missouri or one of the M states just abolished daylight savings time as well. And so, you know, your cycle's still going to happen. The days will get shorter or longer, just like now. The days are getting longer, where it's getting dark at about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, instead of 6 o'clock or 5:30 at night. Um, and basically, the only reason daylight savings time was invented was for the farmers. I mean, that's what it was invented for. That way, they could, regulate their crops and things like that. But I don't even think most of your modern farmers, me included, don't follow that. We follow the sun up, sundown rule. You work from sun up to sundown on whatever you've got, on your garden, on your animals, on whatever you're doing out there on your property. And that's the rule here. It's sun up to sundown. I start my artwork as soon as I get up, which is sometimes at 2 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes it's 1 o'clock in the morning. A lot of times it's 3 o'clock in the morning. So much appreciated for the like, Willie. I appreciate you. And so um, I start my artwork in the morning. I do everything I can until the girlfriend comes home for lunch, and then we eat lunch together. She goes back to work. I come back in here, and then right about that, right now, it's 7:30, 8 o'clock time frame when the sun's coming up. I mean, I know the sun is already coming up before then. Don't get me wrong. I watch it out my windows. I see when the sun comes up, and because I've got a westerly view, the sun comes up behind me, but I can see it out this window, side window here when I'm doing my artwork over here on the desk, art desk. And so once that happens, then I go out there, tend to the animals, feed the goats, let the chickens out to free range, leave the little ones in for now until we can get them clipped, and then running with the pack out there with the rest of the flock. And then I come back in, take care of the indoor animals, and then from there come back in here and do some more artwork until the girlfriend gets off at 1 o'clock. And then 1 o'clock, that's when our errands happen. If we have any that need to be ran, we'll go out there, and she wants to play with the baby goats because we've got two new little boys that were hatched out of their eggs. You know goats lay eggs, right? No, they were born on the 27th of January at 9:48 a.m. And so they are only just a little over, you know, a month old, and they'll be 2 months old on the 27th of this month. So they're still taking in the milk and all that stuff until their uh, third to fourth month of their life span. Now they do have a long life, unless they get, eaten, you know, by human or animal or whatever. But we keep ours protected. They get locked up at night so that they're not wandering around because we do have coyotes in the area, and we hear them. I'm in the country esque area, but we're not deep in the country, out in the woods somewhere. I mean, we do have a wooded back lot behind us, and that is mainly where most of your coyotes are living. And so we have raccoons, possums, all the good stuff that happen in life. And welcome, Red Panda Bean. I'm surprised you're awake this early in the morning. But welcome to the show, buddy. Yes, I know who you are. But I do appreciate each and everybody stopping in, checking out the channel, even if it is for a brief moment, or they were like, holy crap, I didn't want to click on this. What am I doing here? Oh, you're at work now. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm at work too. This is my fun work. But you have that freedom to do that on occasion, at your job, I believe, right? This is water, folks. This isn't vodka or anything like that, or moonshine. It splashed me in the eyeball. Yeah, Mr. Red Panda Bean, you're a computer guy. My computer just died. Oh. Now I'm going to take out my hard drive, transfer my information over here, and reset it. Just because it came in and had a semi blue screen of death, I guess, if you will. Had all these little bars, yellow and red bars, going across the screen whenever I walked in this morning. Um, it looked like it had restarted itself, and then something happened. I don't know what happened in the restart process. But I'm gonna tear it apart, take my hard drive out, transfer all my information that's on that hard drive onto another hard drive, my main hard drive over here, and then put it back together and reset that hard drive. And so So I've got to get my information off of it before it destroys it. Unarmed security officer position now. So hold on, let me get back to that. So as for your computer, sounds like either GPU or PSU. Yeah, I'm not sure on that, but I'm gonna put it back together, and then after I take the hard drive out, and like I said, transfer my information through my little hard drive reader, my external hard drive reader, and then from there I'll just try a reset on it and see if that works. If not, it's time to buy a new computer, right? But it is an older computer anyway. It's I couldn't even tell you how old it is. Like I was telling everybody at the beginning of the show. Oh, I cannot. I don't know exactly when I purchased it, but it's an old Lenovo. Enhanced experience, but I couldn't give you the exact time frame of when I bought it. But I appreciate all the likes, and I appreciate the banter. But I used to be a unarmed security guard as well when I worked at the Holiday Inn in Norman, Oklahoma, and as a night security for them, which turned into basically um, night maintenance, which turned into night stalker because you not like that kind of stalker because you had to take guest stuff to their hotel room. You became Mr. Fix It as well. Um, because I had to fix their cable boxes and had to take them towels and things of that nature that if they needed it. But pretty much for the most part, it was pretty quiet most nights when it came down to it. And there was only a few nights that I had to do that type of stuff when I had to go fix a cable box for somebody, and then I had to take towels to another guest room, and then you had to go into the rooms and after people had checked out just to make sure that they didn't trash the room like this one room that I walked into. It was pretty gross. Uh, Stuff everywhere. It looked like she was, you know, getting away from her husband for a while, for a few days, just to spend money and to have a little extracurricular activity, if you will, because there was used balloons in on the floor and things like that. So that was fun for maintenance to have to deal with. It wasn't me dealing with it. I just had to report what was in the room. Because she did leave quite a bit of stuff in the room, and and it was kind of disturbing, you know, to know that she was married, but pretty sure that that wasn't her husband that was visiting her. You know, all that good stuff. But that was a fun gig. I enjoyed it until I got rear-ended and didn't have a car and couldn't make the job anymore. So until I got another one in the process after with the insurance money, but it took a little bit. And but yeah, no, that was a fun gig. I enjoyed it. Westgate Resorts, nothing exciting like that, but still fun. No, it was a fun gig. I loved it because you had your every hour on the hour you had to do your perimeter walk. You had to walk inside, and then whenever it came your lunchtime, they were like, "Yeah, just go down to the cafeteria area or the area down there, the food prep area, and make yourself a sandwich or whatever you want to grab, and that'll be your lunch." I was like, "Okay, cool," and always made these nice little sandwiches, some turkey and some lettuces and some onion, and the good stuff, and put your mayo on it. But it was fun. It was a fun little gig. I liked it. I didn't like wearing the uniform per se, but it was still fun. And especially without that sidearm, I look like Paul Blart with my hot sauce packet, all that good stuff. But if you've seen Paul Blart, you know. And if you haven't, go watch Paul Blart. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. But no, life should be exciting and fun, and you should be enjoying what you're doing. Like Mr. Red Panda being there, he should be in computers somewhere, um, working on computers all the time and making the big bucks right there. And you know, like me, I should be rolling in the dough with all my artwork, but I'm not. I'm waiting for that millionaire to start buying some of my stuff up. I'm waiting for that millionaire sponsorship. That's what I'm waiting on. And they can give me a like a $10,000 grant, you know, to keep my business going on a regular basis, so that they can fit the bill for my tables and booths at the shows that I'm going to be going to back in again in 2026 whenever I kick back off into shows with my new prints and artworks and things like that. So that's what I'm looking forward to is 2026. I mean, I'm enjoying 2025 already. It's been a good year so far, and as far as art sales, because things are, you know, I've got three commissions that I'm working on right now. The fourth one I'm basically finished up with. I just got a few small touch ups to do, and then I'm going to be working on two pieces for an art show, awareness show for Chelsea Johnson, a police officer, a military friend as well, um, here in town in Fort Smith area, and she's doing a awareness for mental health, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be cool. Unfortunately, I will not be there because I'll be out of town on that day, but we'll have somebody house sitting as well for that day. Um, just because the animals still need taken care of, and so with that, we will be looking at all kinds of cool venues to go to in 2026. Have a good one, man. Thanks for stopping in and checking out the channel. He said, have a good stream. Back to rounds. Yeah, rounds are always fun. But we're looking forward to 2026 just because we're going to be unveiling some new things. And it's just gonna be cool because the prints are gonna be the 11 by 17 prints. We discussed all that and decided that that would be the best size, even from other artists that sell at shows on a regular basis. They said that that is the best size to sell, just because it's easier for people to put inside of a portfolio and or to get a frame for. Because when you get into these oddball frame sizes like the 13 by 19s that I was selling as mini posters, that's a hard that's a hard frame to find unless you go to Hobby Lobby and spend a lot of money and things like that. And but a lot of people love Hobby Lobby and love to be there, and so and Michaels and places like that. Um, but 11 by 17 is a good size. And then on the flip side of that is that we have the canvas prints. So you're going to have a substantial piece of artwork at a much lower price than the original. Thank you, Tat, for the likes. Appreciate you. And that means you have a substantial piece that you don't have to get framed that you can hang on your wall as soon as you get home. Because people like that canvas style quality of a piece of artwork that they can hang on their wall as soon as they get home, and they don't have to go find a frame for it and then they hang it on their wall, or they don't just have to put it in a portfolio and never see it again. You know, even though they love the piece enough to buy it, then they stick it in a portfolio, and it's just like they put that portfolio away, and then maybe a few years later, oh yeah, I remember these things. Oh, I remember that piece of artwork. That was awesome. That type of thing. And so this, you get a different size. You can get like an 8 by 10 or a 16 by 20, or a 20 what is it, a 18 by 24. those type things. And you can get that, boom, right on your wall. Good grief. And from there, you got some thickness to it, you know. Plus, you've got the canvas aspect to it, and it looks like a piece of painted artwork, but it's not the original, and you paid a lot less for it. And so, those are the aspects that I'm going for. I'm getting rid of all the gimmicky little things like the sketch cards that I used to do. Um, they were sketch cards, but they were the regular size playing card or um, Pokemon style card size and things like that, where it had my original artwork printed on it. And I'm basically getting rid of all that type of stuff. Getting rid of the buttons that I used to do. So I will have some equipment up for sale. If someone's interested in that, you can hit me up if you want, and we'll talk. But basically, I'm going to stick to the prints, the canvas prints, and then some of the new stuff that I'm doing, which is right here, which is my Metalworks. This is an actual saw blade, and just so you can understand, this is actual metal painted on right here. This is Art the Clown, and then it's got a base that it sits on right here. It says the art of art right here, which is blood splatter because that's his art. And so with that, this sits right into there, into this little notch. Let me get them straight for you. Right there like that. Let me show the people up here. Just like that. I'm looking at you. Yes. He's got a third eye now. Right here. And so this can sit, you can put your cell phone on it. You can put, whatever you really want to on this piece. And it's not going to hurt it because it's been sealed. Now it will get chinked up and things like that if you just throw shit on it and things like that. But this is the type of stuff that I'm going to have on the table as well. Um, I haven't decided. I mean, the stickers did okay for me, and things like that. And I've also got Billy the Puppet from Saw as well. Pull him up right here. Again, another real saw blade. Fits down in here like that. And it says, I want to play a game. On it right here with the puzzle piece. He says, because it did come from Saw, and he liked to play games. Right there. Ta-da! And also, I've got one that's a clock as well of this Billy the Puppet. Now, Mr. Art the Clown, the other one went to my girlfriend, and I have more to do. So that's going to be fun to do some more on that. But I'm going to do some other characters and see which ones sell the most or get looked at the most. I know I've got two different people interested in Art the Clown that I just showed you. And so that's always fun and exciting to see and do whenever people are, duking it out over a piece of artwork. No. I mean, if somebody does want one, I'll make it one, commission them one, to be able to get into their hands because it is more fun that way. And so it's fun. Artwork is fun. It lets you break out your creative thoughts in your head onto a piece of paper. There's some people that are way more creative than me. 100%. I'm not saying I'm the greatest thing since Betty White. I can't say sliced bread because Betty White's older than sliced bread. Look it up. It's true. And so, I do what I do. I make artwork. I make people smile. And that's what I love to do. My comic book will hopefully bring inspiration and smiles to people's faces as well, as it's going to bring a different element to the comic book realm when it comes down to it. Just because I want it to be different than everybody else's comic book. I don't want it to be a generic form of this book or this book and I see that a lot. I see a generic form of comic books coming out that are basically a rehash of Spawn or a rehash of Wolverine or because you get some of the same elements and the same characteristics from these characters that a lot of people pull into their own works. Um, and be creative, create your own world, create your own characters. You know, don't let other people's works totally influence you, because you can be creative and create your own characters that have nothing to do with the stuff that's already out there. Um, because you see all these clawed characters. Well, you think Wolverine, or you think Ripclaw from Image Comics, or you know other Marvel characters that have claws, and the list goes on. And then you've got so many characters with claws out there that either come out of their hands, or are on their fingertips, or things like that. And it's just like, why can't we come up with something different? That involves the claw. Like when Razor did it, she had this one big razor coming off her wrist. You know, and that was the totally different comic book. I mean, it's just, there's so many rehashed characters out there that it's not even funny. And in fact, even Rob Liefeld got in trouble for plagiarism on certain characters whenever he moved over to Image Comics, and he had to do some changing, and that happens. Uh, but you saw it real blatant in some of the Image Comics characters whenever they moved over from DC and Marvel and created Image Comics back in '92, 91 technically, and 1991, folks. And from there, they've had a huge success. Now, some of the creators who jumped ship from Marvel and DC have since jumped back to Marvel and DC. Jim Lee being one of them, and you know he took his creator-owned licenses and basically put them in DC's hands by retaining the rights to them and getting royalties from them, and those type things. But he was looking at his long-term future, and continuously getting money, because say something happened to him, he dropped all of his titles from Image Comics. Well, he wouldn't be getting money anymore, except for the sale of stuff that was already out there. Say he didn't go back to a comic book convention because of something happened to him, where he couldn't get back to a comic book convention. Well, his livelihood was over. I think this just set him up in a future that no matter what, his artwork is still going to be drawing him revenue in from DC Comics for future years to come, and that's always a good thing to do. It reminds me of a footballer uh, that insured himself with it was either Lloyd's or Christie's of somewhere, an insurance company, and he ended up getting hurt his first season in the NFL coming out of college, and he got a huge chunk of change because he had already put that in his business mindset that if I get hurt, I still want to get paid a substantial amount of money, and he did. And so you've got to look out for your future. And so that means, do you have a 401k in place? Do you have a life insurance policy in place? Do you have a short-term disability or a long-term disability in place? Those type things. Always look out for your future. Always have some money stacked back somewhere. Um, I mean, my money's stacked right here next to me. You guys don't see that, but that's my comic book collection. Um, I could assume I could start selling some of this stuff off on a regular basis, and go from there. Um, but it's exciting. It's fun. From the voice actor gig to the actor gigs that I get, to the artwork that I produce and put smile on people's faces, to the comic books I collect and read, to the books that I read, which I haven't read a book in a long time. I do have a library, but sometimes they just sit there. which isn't good for the books. The books need to be read. Um, but yeah, with that, folks, I am going to leave you until next time, which will be what day is it? It will be the 13th. Thursday the 13th, not Friday the 13th. But I appreciate each and every one of you stopping in, checking out the channel, even if it is for a brief moment. Um, because we do like to talk about comic books, we do like to talk about artwork, we do like to talk about real life scenarios and real world stuff going on. Um, especially like in your world, I mean, like with my homestead. You know, we talked about the chicken coop that we went in there and leveled out by taking the tiller in there, destroying the ground, and then smoothing it back out. Um, just to try and keep, you know, a lot of water from uh, standing in that area. Uh, Basically, next is going to be building a trench around the area. You know, well, next is technically raising the bed by gravel, putting sand on top of that, and then building the coop around that. That's my next step. Is I'm actually redoing the coop, going to be rebuilding the coop in a different area. So that's going to be fun and exciting. I'm still doing the clearing process, so it is taking a hot minute, but it will get there. We will get where we want to be, and the chickens will be much happier and healthier and all that good stuff. But I am going to leave you today, and I appreciate each and every one of you stopping in, checking out things. Please go up here to my profile, like it here on TikTok, and then go to my Facebook, my Instagram, my YouTube, and of course, like I said, you're already here on TikTok, and like, follow, and share those as well. I'm trying to get my YouTube up so that I can continue to produce over there, but I am going to be working on a program to go live in multiple locations all at the same time. But again, I appreciate each and every one of you stopping in and checking out the channel. And we will be back on the 13th. We go live every other day, which right now is the odd days. And I'm not saying that will always be the odd days, but right now that's how it's falling. So we appreciate each and every one of you. And as I like to say, as I leave you guys, we will catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody.